I cannot imagine we are finally doing this. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? And thank you very much for inviting me today.
Good, thank you so much. Just for context for everybody, Milan and I met 3 years ago because we went to the same school at Carleton University. Turns out we never had a chance to see each other after graduating until recently when I went back to Ottawa to pay a visit and we thought to catch up. Where he encouraged me to do this podcast. So if nobody likes this podcast, they will know who to blame. But jokes apart, Milan, thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate your time. Let's start with talking about your company a little bit. Tell me, what does Admission do and how is your business running so far?
Yes, for sure. So, first of all, just to provide a brief information, I'm the founder and CEO of the Ottawa-based startup called EdMission. Just like admission, but it starts with E. That's EdMission. It's a mixture of two word education and mission. So basically, we are on a mission of making education more accessible and democratized for everyone. So in at the initial stage, still we are. So I would like to emphasize that our business as of now is you can say still early stage, but still momentum is steady. And you know that international education is going through a lot of changes recently. So there are some of the challenges that we are facing as well. But at the same time, some of the countries who are welcoming international students with open arms. So we are leveraging that part as well. So overall, a steady momentum on the business side. What we do is helping international students or students from any country to help them securing their admissions and the visa process in 6 different countries: US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Germany. And we also do help some of the students for applying to other European countries like France, Poland, Czech Republic, and Malta. But we don't do that much for those countries, but majorly for the 6 main destinations.
Interesting. You mentioned that you apply or help students apply to many other universities in different countries. So, from your experience, do you have any idea which country do you think is popular nowadays among students?
So majorly top 4 countries which are always most in the demand, especially students coming from the developing countries. If we talk about the students from Asian countries and African countries, so top 4 destinations are US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and we can say top 5, including UK as well. But recently, within the last couple of years, last 1 or 2 years, you can say that these 5 destinations are changing their immigration policies, you can say, on a regular basis. So that is why students do have certain doubts, and also they are a little bit hesitant towards these top 5 destinations. However, on the other hand, Germany is welcoming students without any kind of frequent changes so far, and students are now more interested than ever in studying in Germany. So there are certain other factors who are playing an interesting role in this shift as well. For example, even though Germany has a language barrier and most of the students needs to learn German language as well, but on the top of that, they Germany do have free education for public institutions. So this factor is attracting students a lot, especially from for the middle class background students from African and Asian countries. So right now, in the middle of a little bit chaos, Germany is emerging as a top destinations for students to have their higher education, whether it is bachelor's program, master's, or even for the PhD programs as well.
Interesting. You talked about immigration system. We are gonna come back to that, but um, let's close the topic on admission. I'm trying to learn, like when I as an individual or as a student wants to apply to a university abroad, um, me doing application and applying for study visa as opposed to going to agents like admission, and they applying it for me in university and doing my student visa, how is it different?
First of all, we do not work as an education agent. We work as a facilitator to help the students to move fast in terms of their application and the visa process. So we take a DIY approach for the students, encouraging them to take control of their entire process in their hands, so they do not have to actually rely 100% on the intermediaries like the education agents. They can actually track their entire process anytime they want without getting back to us, with full transparency in the process as well. So that's how we actually also differentiate from the traditional education agents. On the other hand, where we help students into, when, for example, you mentioned that you when you apply by yourself, you research about the universities, go to multiple universities website, look into the information about the open programs and open intakes as well, and that's a tedious task for the students. We created a system where they can actually just sign up on our platform and get access of multiple universities and their programs, very tailored to their profile. So as soon as they simply completes their profile on our platform, with the help of AI, it gets the very tailor matched programs with certain number of universities based on which location they want to go for, and they can compare those universities all together. So within few minutes or few hours, they can actually shortlist their universities and the programs wherever they want to go for. So this is how we speed up their process. And in the middle of that, wherever they have any kind of questions or they need extra support, they can always reach out to us to speed up the process. And we again leverage the DIY approach for the students and guide them how to actually move forward to the next process and the next step of their application process, or maybe they are in the middle of the visa process. When it comes to the immigration advice, we do not advise them as just like an immigration lawyer or regulated immigration consultant, but on to provide them the transparent support or resource, we directly connect them with the authorized immigration lawyers in the individual countries, so that they can actually have a transparent information and fair representation in the immigration system of the individual country. So that's how we differentiate ourselves from the traditional education agents and help students to expedite their process moving forward towards the education in the different country from wherever they are coming from.
Wow, I like the way you put it, that you are a facilitator to just expedite the process. It is as good as me applying for university, but that could be tedious for an individual to research the universities, especially when they are going abroad, when they don't know what to do and who to contact. Coming back to immigration system, because we are now in Canada, and an admission, I'm sure, deals with many other countries and their immigration systems. I was curious to know, what is that one good thing about Canadian immigration system that you think other countries' immigration system doesn't have? And what is that one thing that you wish Canadian immigration system had to make the process a little easier for international students?
The first of all, if we talk about Canadian immigration system, again, I just would like to mention that I'm not an immigration lawyer or an RCIC to provide any kind of immigration advice, but I do have very good, or you can say sound knowledge of the Canadian education system as well at the same time. Yes. So at the same time, when I think about what is the one good thing that I love about the Canadian immigration system is how simple the immigration process for the students is, and in comparison of any other country, Canada has a really simple immigration process for the students. So some of the other countries might also. Uh, I'm not sure if they want to, take some good lessons from the system that Canada has or something like that. But yeah, I love the process that how Canada kept it simple, and how it's easy for the students when it comes to the processing times, when it comes to the document checklist, and when it comes to the actually applying for their student visa. So that's a really good point that I like about Canadian immigration system. However, what is the other side of the Canadian immigration system when especially it comes to the student visa is um, the processing, the way the Canadian immigration system process. It has certain loopholes in the immigration system, and that needs to be fixed. We have seen a lot of recent cases where a lot of fake colleges and the fake offer letters had been issued previously to the international students. They actually came to Canada without even verifying if those letters were fake or not. So those kind of loopholes needs to be strictly eliminated, and on a regular basis, or it needs to also be audited as well. So that makes the process fair for not only for the country but also for the other students who are coming here in a transparent way, in a very legitimate way, I would say, as well. So that's the plus point of Canadian immigration system, and also something that needs to be improved as well.
Interesting. Milan, correct me if I'm wrong, but last time when we were chatting, you had mentioned that you registered your company while you were still a student, and that you were able to secure some funds as well, like some initial funds from the university. So walk me through the process on how that happened. And I'm sure it must not be easy, but did you have to struggle a lot for that initial fund, and or did you have to pitch your business time in again to secure the funds, or how was the process?
So it is always multiple times of pitching the business. You are, as an entrepreneur, you are pitching your business every single day, you can say, when you are communicating with customers. Either you are communicating with the potential investors, or you are just introducing yourself to someone. So you are always pitching your business. But when it comes to securing fund, it's a little bit more challenging because nobody is going to give you free money. So at the same time, when I was studying at Carleton University, the very first thing that I wanted to do is register my business here in Canada so that I can actually start operations as soon as possible. And also some of the fundings application, they required me to have a formal registration or incorporation of the company as well. So I was trying to figure out how should I incorporate my company. I'm still on a student visa. If you do the federal incorporation, you required at least a permanent resident or a citizenship as a partner to incorporate federally. So it wasn't the case for me. So I incorporated my business provincially here in Ontario. Looked into a couple of resources if it is possible or not. So at the end, I was able to do it and incorporated my business as a student. But coming to your second point about the funding, so I did my master's in entrepreneurship here at Carleton University in Ottawa, and which is the program is also part of Sprott School of Business here at Carleton University. So Sprott School of Business has a really good arrangement for the students who are actually having a good business idea, and they want to they want to start their entrepreneurial journey right here in Ottawa. So they support students in initial fundings, certain $1,000. Not, it is not too much. that you can secure the entire pre-seed amount, but it is enough to get you started and basically complete your 0 to 1 journey when you are having just a normal business idea on paper. So it helped me a lot. And of course, securing that fund was not just one application. Um, you have to go through multiple stage. You need continuous improvement and all those sort of things. But our professor was really good, and he helped me a lot in this journey as well. To support me each and every step of that application and after the application as well. And at this point, while I am actually in the business, having continuous leads of the clients as well, at this point I also go back to the professor and get some suggestions from professor that, okay, professor, I'm stuck here. What am I supposed to do now? So he still helps me a lot. I feel myself lucky in that particular manner as well, that I had a good professor at the university and who is still helping me at every single point. So this was kind of an entire journey of incorporation of a business as a student, and at the same time securing the initial fund for the business as well.
Wow, that's interesting. And I really appreciate the fact that the professor is still helping you. I always believe that a good teacher always makes a good student. So it's really great. I hope we have more professors and teachers like this who help their students. You said that you registered your company provincially when you did not have a permanent resident status or the citizenship of Canada. Um, if you remember on top of your head, would you like to walk us through how did you go? Like, is it just a website that you access, or what was the process on getting registered provincially if there's any other student who is on student visa and would like to register their company?
For sure. So many of the international students actually who wants to start their business and incorporate a company in Canada, they have a certain understanding that you need at least one person as a partner who is a permanent resident or who is a citizen here in Canada. But that's the case if you are registering your company federally. Certain provinces in Canada, they do allow the international students, or if you are not even permanent resident or citizen of Canada, you can actually incorporate your company on temporary resident status. So that's what I did, and there is a of course online application process to do that. So you have to go through the Government of Ontario website to do that. Go through the guideline given by the Ontario state provincial government, and then just simply follow some steps to incorporate your business. However, now the companies like Honor also help in incorporation of the company as well. They have a little bit better user interface to actually help you go through entire process and everything. So it is more, you can say, customer or user interface friendly, that you can easily understand and fill out all of your application process within couple of minutes, and you can get the incorporation certificate in 1 or 2 hours as well. So that's very simple. So it's not something like that you do require the permanent resident or citizen as a partner if you want to incorporate your company here in Canada.
Seems like an easy process, and I think Canada is pretty high on ease of doing business index. So I think it's good for people who are hoping to register their company. Also, you mentioned that you had to pitch your business a lot to secure some initial funds from university. Do you have any tips, like how, like give me 2, 3 pointers, like how one can go and pitch or improve every time they pitch someone?
All right. So if we are talking about pitching at the university level, each and every university first of all, has a different application system. So first, a student needs to look into that, if that university is providing such kind of funding, if they have any kind of grants available for the students who wants to start their entrepreneurial journey, and all those sort of due diligence first, right? And then when we are pitching, so there are certain basic things that every business needs to include, when they are pitching to any investors or anyone else. So basically, what problem you are solving, how you are solving, why your solution is better than anyone else, and how you're going to make it successful. These are four basic. This is very basic thing that everyone needs to understand. And on the top of that, okay, what is your team? Okay, team is also kind of one of the top most important thing as well. So who is in your team? Are they experienced or not? What are the other resources available? Do you have any experience in the same field? Then how your competition is not better than you, or maybe you are making what you are doing differently to stand out in the same field as well, because there are always competition, and no business is there without competition. So all those sort of things that needs to be included, and based on that, if you are going for angel funding, you are going for just a grants, like Canadian government also provides some grants. So if you're going for those grants, so each of the investors, they do have their separate selection criteria as well. So you want to align that selection criteria and want to make sure that you are hitting each and every point while you are pitching to the individual investors. So you want to cover everything. First of all, you want to study the investor first, and then you will be preparing your pitch accordingly.
Wow. And I like you said, because it's not only about studying your own business, you have to study the investor as well.
You always have to study the investors.
That's a good thing. And I think this is the mantra that students can get, that you have to study your investor and see what they might look for in your company and prepare themselves accordingly. Interesting. Last time when we were chatting, you mentioned that you were doing business in India, and now you're doing business in Canada. So tell me, from your experience, how is it different from doing business in Canada versus doing business in India? And then I have a follow-up question, but I'll let you answer this first.
All right. Very basic thing is India has 1.4 billion of population. So competition in each and every field is very, very huge. So whenever you are going to, reach out to someone, or maybe you want to get some of the resources, you want to get in touch with the government resources, there are always much, much higher competition. In comparison of that environment, Canada is much more accessible. Everyone is very friendly. You can reach out to anyone, anytime, even if the person is working in the government, or if the person is at certain higher position or something like that. You can easily reach out to anyone, and people actually respond, give you responses as well. But at the same time, you also want to make sure that if you are reaching out to someone, you don't want to waste their time. So you want to be on point. You want to make sure that you are valuing their time as well. So all those type of preparation you need to do first before reaching out to someone else as well. So in terms of that, I think Canada is much more accessible when it comes to reach out to some resources, or maybe some of the people as well here.
Interesting. And my follow-up question was, what would you choose and why would you choose doing business in any of the countries, either India or Canada?
I would choose both, because each of the countries has something to give you. So you want to figure out that which kind of resources you want to leverage and from which country, right? So best example that I want to give is the technical resources in India is much more in favor of the business than the technical resources in Canada, right? So this is just one example based on what business you are in. And if you are an immigrant, you have always a advantage to get access from more than one country based on what resources you require. So you need to, and you also have that knowledge as well, because you are coming from a different country, you are here, so you have the knowledge of that particular country, and you also have the knowledge of Canada now. So now you can actually also differentiate the same resources available in the both the countries, that which if you are getting that particular resource from which country, it's going to be more useful and beneficial for your business. So I think every country has to offer something. It's your job to figure out that what kind of resource you want to use from which country and incorporating into your business. So for me, I think it's both.
Interesting. Looks like it's pretty subjective on what the individual wants from any of the countries and what resources they want, and they can do business anywhere, honestly. Um, we are towards the end of the podcast. We have some time constraints, but Milan, before I let you go, I really want to know, do you have any tips for students who are currently doing their MBA or a similar course, who want to start something of their own, and how they can go about it, like at least starting business in Canada?
Of course, I have just very simple thing, and then that tip I also got from someone while doing networking, and from someone who is much more experienced than me, and he mentioned that start early and fail early.
Hmm.
If you have a business idea, start as soon as possible, navigate your 0 to 1 journey, and figure out if you're going to make it, or if you're going to fail it, fail earlier, so that you can pivot that business into something useful as soon as possible. That is going to give you much more fruitful result than what the existing idea that you had. So if you have a business idea, start early. If it works out, you go in the perfect direction, it's well and good. Nothing is better than that. But if you are facing some sort of challenges, if you are facing, let's say, those kind of challenges that is temporarily, or maybe it is not possible to overcome for you, fail early. Don't lingering around on that particular idea for a long time. It's just a waste of time. So fail early and restart the same journey, or maybe pivot the same journey in a different direction. That's going to be much more useful for you. And that was the best advice that I got from someone when I was actually just starting my entrepreneurial journey, and trying to know the Canadian ecosystem as well.
Perfect. So start early and fail early is the tip of the day. Perfect. You also talked about networking. I'm sorry I'm stretching this, but do you have any tips for networking on how new immigrants can start networking and talking to people?
Yes, of course. So let me tell you what I did when I was here. I came during COVID time, so everything was completely closed, and I did my first semester kind of a little bit remote as well, where university campus was also closed at the same time. But as soon as we were back on campus, and everything was up and alive, I started going to the nearby events, networking events, and some of the conferences that I was interested in, to just to know that what is entrepreneurial ecosystem looks like here in Ottawa. I actually traveled frequently to Toronto as well, just for the events. Participated in business incubators as well. That helped me a lot to get more resources and the network as well. So if you are new in the country, you want to see that what kind of events are going on around your city, in your city, at your university as well, and participate in those particular events as much as possible. Initially, you will not figure out that what is happening with you, or maybe you are just going there and coming back with no input. You don't know how to actually leverage those resources or the people you met at the particular event as well, and you are just meeting, getting their visiting card, and now you don't know what the hell you want to do with the visiting card as well, and all those sort of things, right? But eventually when you keep going in that particular cycle, you will figure out that, okay, I met that person, now I want to connect that person over the LinkedIn, I want to have an introduction call with that person to see that, okay, if there is any mutual synergies between both of you guys or not, and all those sort of things. So maybe it's gonna take a time, but it is worthwhile. And if you have a experience back in your country, you already know how to do networking, then it's going to be much more easier for you.
Yeah, so experience and people grow with experience. I think I can vouch for it because I am a civil engineer in Ontario. And initially, like when I went to the sites to do some site inspection and stuff, I had zero idea on what do I do, like after going on site. But eventually you learn with experience. Okay, you talk to people, you talk to the contractors, and that is how you go. Interesting. It was pleasure talking to you, Milan. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. I hope all this information helps someone who is hoping to immigrate soon to a new country. That being said, Milan has been doing great with EdMission Inc. Please feel free to contact him should you need any student application or visa expedition services. Milan, thank you so much and hope to chat with you soon again.
Thank you very much, Harjit, for inviting me, and hope to see you again here in Ottawa as well.
Perfect. I'll make my visit soon. Thank you so much.